What if the single most important invention in human history wasn't the wheel, writing, or the internet, but cooking? Before cooking, our ancestors spent hours chewing raw food. Cooking changed everything. For millions of years, our hominin ancestors ate food raw, tough roots, raw meat, and hard seeds. Chewing took up to 6 hours a day. Raw food is hard to digest. It provides less energy because our bodies have to work harder to break it down. But cooking changed everything. When our ancestors learned to control fire and cook food, it became softer and easier to digest. This meant more energy could be extracted from the same amount of food. Cooking essentially pre-digested food. This extra energy didn't just fill stomachs, it fueled brain growth. With more calories available, our ancestors' brains could grow larger and more complex. Cooking may have been the spark that turned early humans into the intelligent species we are today. Then, around 1.5 million years ago, something changed. Our ancestors began to cook. Cooking made food softer and easier to digest. It unlocked more calories from the same amount of food. This extra energy didn't just fill stomachs. It fueled the growth of something remarkable: the human brain. Our brains are energy hogs. They use about 20% of our calories, even though they're only 2% of our body weight. The earliest solid evidence for controlled fire. The earliest evidence of fire use comes from Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, about 1 million years ago. But the first definitive proof of cooking comes from fish teeth found at Gesher Benot Ya'aqov in Israel, dated to 780,000 years ago. These fish teeth showed signs of being heated, but not burned, meaning they were cooked. But some researchers argue that cooking began even earlier. They point to changes in our anatomy. Around 1.9 million years ago, Homo erectus evolved smaller teeth, smaller guts, and larger brains. These changes are hard to explain without cooked food, because cooking makes food easier to digest and provides more energy. This is known as the expensive tissue hypothesis. The idea is that cooking allowed our ancestors to shrink their digestive systems, freeing up energy for a larger brain. Without cooking, it's hard to see how Homo erectus could have supported a brain that was nearly twice the size of earlier hominins. So while the fish teeth at Gesher Benot Ya'aqov are the oldest direct evidence of cooking, the anatomical clues suggest that our ancestors may have been cooking for much longer. The debate continues, but one thing is clear: cooking changed everything. It shaped our bodies, our brains, and ultimately our humanity. Erectus appeared with smaller teeth, a smaller gut, and a larger brain. These changes are exactly what you'd expect if cooking became a regular practice. Smaller guts mean less energy spent on digestion. Cooking didn't just change our bodies, it changed our societies. Fire became a gathering point. Around the fire, people shared food, told stories, and strengthened social bonds. This may have led to larger, more cooking also allowed a division of labor. Some could hunt, others could gather, and someone could stay behind to watch the fire and prepare food. This specialization made the group more efficient. The hearth became the heart of the home. It provided warmth, protection from predators, and a place to process food. Over time, the control of fire allowed humans to move into colder climates and survive harsh winters. Could gather and cook while others hunted or made tools. But here's the twist: cooking may have also shaped our brains in another way. Some scientists think it drove the evolution of language. Cooking requires coordination and planning. You need to gather food, maintain fire, and share tasks. This may have favored communication. The shared meal around a fire became a uniquely human ritual. It's no coincidence that every culture has some form of cooking. So, why did ancient humans start cooking? Not for taste, not for fun. They cooked because it gave them a survival edge. It unlocked more energy, allowed bigger brains, and fostered complex systems. Cooking literally made us who we are. Next time you sit down for a meal, remember that cooked food is a 1.5 million-year-old technology that shaped humanity. From raw to cooked, from survival to civilization. That first spark of fire changed everything. It's not just food, it's the foundation of our species.